How to accelerate your English learning. Hey everyone, my name is Braden Chase, and welcome to the podcast. It's nice to talk to you guys today. Today I wanted to talk about this idea. How do you accelerate your English language learning? A lot of you have been studying for a long time, and you've been in classes, you've been in school, you've been with books, you've traveled, you've done a bunch of different things, and it's been a lot of work for you, but you need to kind of move forward, right? What are we trying to do? How do we accelerate in what we're doing? Now, with accelerate, there's two different things that we can do that we want to talk about. One, so let's say we're at a particular level and we want to get past that. We want to go up and improve our English, okay? So there's a particular technique that I'm going to talk about that can help you increase or improve your English, okay? On the other side, sometimes we want to expand our English. We need to improve the breadth of our vocabulary, right? Widen our vocabulary so that we can talk about more things. And I have one technique that can actually help you do both, but not exactly at the same time. And I'll explain how that works. But first, let me tell you guys a story about me, actually. So when I was learning Portuguese, I lived in Brazil. And I moved down to Brazil and I did not know anything about Portuguese. I had not ever heard Portuguese. I didn't know what it sounded like. I didn't know who spoke it or where Portugal was, even though I wasn't going to Portugal, right? I was going to Brazil. I knew nothing. It was terrible. And I get down into Brazil and I'm like, ooh, let's go to the school. So I went to the school and they started talking to me and teaching things. Nothing makes sense. I had a meltdown in there. I was crying. It was frustrating. It was very hard. Couldn't understand anything. Until I kind of had a switch and I said, well, what if I do it this other way? So I started going this other way and focusing in my different way of learning and teaching that I do now for all of you. And going in that different direction, I was able to improve very, very quickly. Okay, I went from knowing absolutely nothing in English, knowing absolutely nothing in Portuguese, to being able to hold conversations with native Brazilians who had no experience with Americans and actually being able to communicate. I could understand them and they could understand me, okay, within 2 or 3 months, okay? If you look at the textbooks, if you look at the universities, they tell you this is not possible, but I did it. And not just me, I know tens of thousands of other people who have done this. Hello, nice to see you. Lots of people have done this, okay? It's not magical, it's not unique. Anybody can do this if you follow the right steps, okay? So in short, the way you do this, hey James, nice to see you on here. The way you learn English faster, the way you improve your English faster is through focus. Now, what is focus? Let me tell you a story so you guys can understand how this focus thing works. When I was learning Portuguese at the time, I was in a particular area. And that was a particular physical area, of course, but I was working inside of a vocabulary wrapped around religion. So that's what I talked about. And I focused in that religion and that vocabulary. And as I spoke and spoke and spoke within those words, my my Portuguese got very good in that area. Now, if you moved me out of that area, my Portuguese was terrible, right? If you moved me to talk about cars or to talk about politics, and suddenly I was terrible and I couldn't even hold a conversation. But inside of my little world of religion, I could hold really good conversations and explain things and give instructions and talk and have these conversations that were really advanced. Okay, it's very, very possible to do this, okay? And that's what I mean by focus. Being inside of one area and advancing through that area. Hey, Ang, nice to see you. But focusing in one area, learn that vocabulary that's used in that area, learn the grammar that's in that area, learn the writing in that area, learn the listening, the way that people speak in that area. Focus on those areas, and that helps you go from this level to clear up here very, very quickly, okay? Focusing in a particular area helps you learn faster, okay? Do not try, especially as adults, right? Do not try and learn a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit here and a little bit there. It will take you forever to learn anything, okay? forever. Don't do it, right? And if you look at the textbooks, that's what they do, right? Here's a chapter on animals, and here's a chapter on jobs, and here's a chapter on geology, and a chapter on this. And they take you through these little tiny tidbits, right? And that's part of why it takes you 6 years or 10 years to learn English, because you're focusing on these little tiny bits. If instead you focus on one area and you focus and work and just accelerate your English and everything inside of just that area, you will learn how to speak English fluently very quickly, right? You'll reach a high proficiency, an advanced proficiency in that area in months instead of years. Hey, Lori, nice to see you. So that's what I need you guys to do, right? Focus on that. Focus on one specific area. Now, the same tip also works, right? Let's say you are really good at that one area. You focused on, I don't know, geology. Say you're a geologist, right? You work with rocks and volcanoes or something like that. So you focus on your area. You become really good in your area, but you got to talk about other stuff too, right? You need to expand. What do? Since you've already accelerated and you have high skill in that one area, it's very easy for you to go, step aside, right? And then all of that knowledge comes with you into the new area. And then you focus and develop that new area. And then, oh, I need to learn, say, space now or astronomy or something. Step across, right? Build that area and you can bring all of that knowledge, those two areas now come with you. And instead of trying to build this little tiny base of a million different things, you can focus on one tower and build these towers across and learn much, much faster. Oh, good. Thank you, Laurie. I'm glad you like that. So that's my tip for tonight, guys. The way to accelerate your English learning is to focus on one thing, especially as adults. Right? For children, there's actually different teaching techniques and how they learn. And that little spacing, right? Little bits of knowledge of things over time is very helpful for children. But for adults, it slows you down, right? Do not do things that way. Focus on one area, specialize in it, and then step aside and specialize in your next one. Your brain works better that way. You learn better. Everybody's happier. Everything's faster, okay? Thank you guys. If that was helpful for you, put a like underneath or put a comment underneath. I'd love to talk to you guys. I know that some of my best conversations have happened actually after I turn off the conversation or turn off the video here. So have a wonderful night and I'll talk to you guys another day. Bye.